Touch one. Touch all. Touch one. One nation. One Africa.
Appreciate everybody for being here today. We are at the beautiful Aquaba Hall. It's located at 4101 West Florissant. So for those of you in St. Louis, please do come by. We're here for 5 o'clock. And we're here every Sunday. We're right on the corner of Alice and West Florissant. And we are on the north side. We are in the heart of the epicenter of the twofold tornado. The one that happened before and the one that happened most recently. And the one that happened before is a representation of the benign neglect that the city officials have allowed in the city of St. Louis to crumble and decay under one thing that we know as the infamous Team 4 plan, when they got together with the Rand Corporation and they wrote and devised that and say, let it rock. And that's what they did. And then when May 16th occurred, when the tornado came through the neighborhoods, it further just flattened everything. Roofs were torn off and things of that nature. All we know about that story, and we know more. But there's so much more to discuss than just the hurricane itself. We're going to look at some of the resistance and the activities that have been occurring on the ground, and we're going to get into that pretty deeply and intensely. And remember, this is your community rally. They're traditionally brought to you by the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement, which is the leading mass force of the Uhuru Movement, and it was formed in 1991. So once again, this is a revolutionary town hallship, so to speak. So we definitely want to get your engagement, even online if you're in St. Louis or if you're international. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the chat. We'll be sure to look at those and to entertain that. We also want to do a quick shout out and recognition inside of the Uhuru Movement. In our presence today, we have 2 Central Committee reps from the African People's Socialist Party. We have a Southern rep, and the camera you won't be able to see it, but she is here, a Southern rep. Her name is Representative of the African People's Socialist Party. And we also have a comrade named Emmanuel. He is the Northern Region rep for the African People's Socialist Party. And we want to appreciate them. They get on the ground doing different things, practical work, and also helping out political work. So we appreciate that. We are an international organization. So when forces are needed from around the world, if they can, they come to wherever the work is needed. That's right. Before we go further with our program, we're going to have everyone to please stand. And on my screen, you will see the African Nation Fight song. And if you please sing along. Uhuru, the African Nation Fight song.
Patrice Lumumba's life won't be in vain. We are winning. Keep up the work in Marcus Garvey's name. We are winning. Independent and free is what we will be. We are winning. Africa will bask in our victory. We are winning. Long live the liberation of our African nation. Freedom through organization. Socialist world, our creation. 1 billion strong, yes, we are one. We are
We are winning. Africa!
I think we fired up and ready for this fight.
Uhuru.
You know, that's the African fight song. And when we fight, we win.
That's right.
It's quite obvious in our history as a movement, and we know that. And we continue this fight today, each and every day. Once again, if you're in St. Louis, we're at 4101 West Florence, and we're on the corner of West Florence now. 3 to 5. Next up, we have some political education. And we're going to have that being led by the local president of the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement, Comrade Westbrook. It's up.
Fightback.
It's a fight. Today we will be entering. We will be studying point number 2 from the 14-point working platform for African people. And we want the rights to economic development and creative and productive employment, which promotes the need and well-being of our entire people. You know, I like dumping down and stuff, so I'll down off on okay. I said we want the rights to economic development and the creative and productive employment, which promotes the needs and well-being of our entire people. We believe that colonialism is a blood-sucking system which caused all economic development to benefit the ruling class, the colonial. Okay. In the society at our expense, that colonized. We also believe that the massive habitual unemployment and underemployment of our people benefit U.S. colonialist ruling class and the capitalist system, and that a struggle by African people for jobs must be combined with a struggle for socialism and independence for economic development. We all know that colonialism is a blood-sucking system, and it caused all economic development to benefit the colonialist ruling class and the society while we get nothing. And if we want to tie that to what's going on here, we can say that that's what led to the devastation that happened May 16th. We say that the South Side, we already know the South Delmar divide, South and North. We know that the folks on the South Side live at the expense of the North. And so we know most of the habits of the South Side is a colonial ruling claims. You know what I'm talking about? And like I said, all of our economic development benefit that side. So many years, many decades, many generations, you have money been exploited out of the Northside with the red line program, financing was restricted. Come back to this side. And we know that they might call it red line, economic this franchise program if you ask me, but it's the true word is called colonialism.
That's right.
It's colonialism.
That's right.
You know, where they suffocate folks who live out the expense of the folks in. Let's see, they got to stop. Hey, check this out, right? Today, and I hate that I have to do this. I owe the movement $1. This would be my customer list. And I'm gonna try not to cuss, but you know, I owe it $1. So, hey, y'all try to keep me up on point, all right? But even the unemployment or the underemployment of African people benefit the colonizer. You know, it's no way around that. And I mentioned it before that if you have a tax bracket of people, if you have a group of people that that's unemployed or not employed, therefore they can't pull taxes out of them, it kind of justifies an area looking like it does. What did I mean when I say that? When you have the north side and the west side, they're 80%, 85% unemployed. You know, you can't pull resources from people that you can't pull taxes from people that don't have a job. You can't pull a lot of taxes from people that's unemployed. So then they give a reason on why your certain ward look dilapidated because you don't have no money, no tax revenues to do something about it. But we know that's purpose. We know that's called colonialism. You understand what I'm saying? So we know even the unemployment or the underemployment or even the unemployment benefit the colonial ruling class. We know that if they keep you unemployed for a long period of time, you know, sometimes we get Black folks that accept any job at any rate. So a lot of times, it's another reason why they keep us disenfranchised because they know that we'll sometimes get the things they might call, Donald Trump might call black jobs, whatever the hell that is. That's the unemployed job. Which you said that black job, you know, that's what it is. You know, but a struggle for jobs for African people must be combined with the struggle for socialism and independent economic development. I mean, I know a lot of us struggle. St. Louis, or the majority of unemployment, minimum wage is low. I don't know. I think it's still below $10 unemployment, minimum wage. But make a long story short, you have some folks that might struggle to bring their minimum wage price up. You might have some folks struggle to reintroduce the what they cut, not the affirmative action, but reintroduce that so we can have our representation on the job. But we say if you're gonna do all this struggle to reform the system, you know what I'm talking about, or do this struggle to get a job, surely it have to be combined with your liberation. Surely it has to be combined with true socialism. Where we had a power and not no colonialist echelon at the top of the period. Status quo can continue no more. But I want to, I won't beat the drum or preach to the choir. I want to move on to the questions, if that's okay. Move on. Okay. What is colonialism? Is it A, a life insurance company? Is it B, something that can only happen in Africa or Asia? C, another word for racism? Or D, a blood-sucking system that enrich the state and society at the expense of African.
D.
Yeah. I let my power. I'm not gonna stop. Hey, yeah. So let me go ahead and that's why it's the blood sucker system. And until we overturn that blood sucker system, it's still gonna be rich itself at our expense. The Northside still will look like it look, if we don't overturn that. So yes, it's blood sucker system. African, question number, 2. African in the US are habitual unemployment, employed and unemployed because we are independently wealthy. A. B. The US colonialist benefits from our lack of jobs. C. We have other things to do. Or D. All the jobs are being exploited to.
Steve.
D.
I thought it was trying.
Yeah. Y'all gotta feel me if I'm being extra careful, so my words, I'm not gonna feel each other. Somebody always say, oh, I gotta be extra careful. Okay, last but not least, when we struggle for jobs, we must also struggle for socialism and independent economic development. B, make sure to join unions. C, to register at the office. Or D, to fight for minimum.
Hey.
When we struggle, we must struggle. We must struggle for socialism and achieve independence and economic development for our community. Because when we know that we are able to feed, clothe, and hire ourselves, this May 16th demonstration won't happen. You know, and until we learn how to feed, house, and clothe ourselves, they will always look at us as a charity vessel. But we know that we're not a charity vessel. We know that we are building dual to power. That's why we have more than 50 economic institutions. So that will conclude today, 14 time platform. And I appreciate you. And you move forward.
That's all.
One Africa.
One nation.
One nation.
One Africa.
So you know we're talking about a fight back, and let me move this up a bit. But you know, this week recently, I want y'all to pay attention to this too. This week recently, there have been a series of so-called town hall meetings or gatherings at City Hall at different institutions in the city of St. Louis. And one thing that has been unanimous is that African people have all said that the $30 million that you're trying to give us is not enough. It can't do it. You add up all these numbers, it comes up to about $1 billion itself. Yes. The city is not cash strapped. They don't know what to do with it. Well, we know what to do with it.
Yes.
You need to free up all this money and some.
That's right.
And you need to make sure that the African community is compensated for all the years of benign neglect,
Yes.
not just because as a result of this tornado.
Yes.
And if they say that it costs $1 billion, 1.6, it goes up every other day, 2 billion. Of course, they always be conservative with numbers, so they basically lie or don't know what they're talking about. So if it costs about $2 million, then let us get this billion, and then you can start getting us another billion, and on that, some more billions, and all that. You know what I'm saying? So the community has been unanimous and knows exactly what it is that we need. We are on different levels as a community. We have the left, the right, the center. But one thing, at least we are unified in this regard, and we know that all of it is ours. We deserve every last dime that you got in the city coffers, or take it out, give it to the teacher, give it to the Northside, You know, I saw something on Facebook in this zip code, 63115. 63115, people said don't qualify. Looking and listening, say, well, how is this gonna be possible? FEMA says that this zip code does not qualify. They say this is according to the citizen in the area who had called and got in contact with the federal government. Of course, we know that this is an example of what they did in Florida, with Hurricane Katrina, and anywhere African people are, that if there is a natural disaster, as the so-called, the federal government is the last to come to do anything. Now, of course, they want to open up and say, we're going to give you $71 million. Now, you tell me what $71 million on. It can do something. Conservatively, at best, you might be able to take $71 million and you may be able to compensate maybe 115 people at best. If the max on that is $43,600, just doing some rough numbers and some rough estimates. You understand the math and where I'm going with that. It ain't enough still. Maybe something, but it ain't enough because you got thousands, hundreds, thousands of people who have been displaced and without electricity. So we know that comrades have came here, community people have come here to see what we can do and continue to do. So there is always a fight back campaign, and we can talk about that a little bit later. If you haven't signed up, or even if you're online and you are in the city of St. Louis and you are interested in doing some work, put it in the contact, put it in the chat, give us some contact information, and we can get in contact with you. And if you're in the room, if you want to learn more, we do have some sign up. We got work that can be done. We also plan on keeping the positive action campaign movement going. We will develop that a little bit further. And if we have your contact, we will be able to get in contact with you. So most recently, we had a political action that was downtown in front of City Hall. And I'm gonna let some other comrades come up and talk about some of the outreach as well. But in addition to that, prior to it, a couple of weeks ago, the Black Power Blueprint, which is under the Uhuru Movement banner and which is responsible for the economic development, who is under the leadership of Deputy Chair Ona Zane Yeshitela. And we want to give it up for Deputy Chair about this work with the Black Power Blueprint. Our comrades that work under her leadership and went out on the streets and passed out information, giving people contact information, what to do. There's a call-in campaign that's going on now to continue to put the pressure on the City Hall, even Ameren, and we have some flyers back at the back of the table if you need to get one of those for information. So that's also part of the campaign. But within the last 2 weeks, we have distributed more than 1,500 pieces of propaganda in general. Excuse me, I want to give you the exact number that I tallied on. So roughly, we have passed out indecent flyers, 1,537 pieces of literature. That's literature that comes from the Black Power Blueprint. That's literature that comes from InPDUM as well. We have gained contact with at least 71 people. And we have also made at least 50 calls for the most recent campaign that we had downtown. And we did get good results, and we got great, it was a very successful program, action. So there will be more actions coming. So it just lets you know that the work isn't over. When we say fight back, it's what we do. And you do it in the form of outreach, which means you go knock on a door, you might post up on the corners, you might go pass out on the corner, or a particular event that's happening in the city of St. Louis at a community forum, etc. So we want to just, give it up and commend the comrades and who's going to do the work. But we also want to make sure that we know that, of course, today is Father's Day, and it's kind of a bittersweet moment. And we know that we want to, salute the fathers. I want to give it up for all the fathers that celebrate Father's Day. We have Father's Day. Appreciate all the work that you do in the community, and you can see how the fathers have been participating in the community as a result of this twofold compound, benign neglect, and of course, with the hurricane. So we want to continue to build the community with all our labor sources, men, women, one day. Tomorrow is June 16th. In 1976, the Soweto massacre happened, and so it became known as International Youth Day. That was in 1976. And so this was a day that the African youth challenged the system of apartheid at the level of education. It was actually simple, but why do we not speak in that? We got a language of our own. We speak with something else. Understand? So that's an example of fight back. And just want to make sure that you know that our history is filled with a lot of examples of resistance. So we want to give it up for that resistance. So before we go further, I'm gonna bring up another one of our another one of our comrades who has been on the ground with us here and who has participated coming from the northern region of the United States. He is a member of our Central Committee. He's been doing a lot of great work with outreach for us here. And you said earlier, we are an international organization. And when the party on who to beat you, you're available, our forces come together because we are one people, we are one Africa, we are one nation. We aren't separated by any form of colonial borders. You understand? So you live in Florida, don't mean that you can't understand those things. Without further ado, give it up Florida.
Uhuru comrades.
Uhuru.
Fist up.
Fight back.
Fist up.
Fight back.
Fist up.
Fight back.
Uhuru. Fight. Yeah. Outreach is an important component to organizing response to the treacherous city actions that is targeting this community in the Northside Cities for forcible removal and land grab. This week in the People's Fightback, the people have self-deployed on the ground outreach. This week, we went to over 500 homes in O'Fallon Park, distributed at least 800 materials. Salute to our new InPDUM member, James Pennington, who was out there on the ground with us. Thank you. And I was really proud to see just how he quickly picked up. I mean, we trained him right there on the spot. And yeah, his interactions with people, so that's great. Yeah, yeah, that's what the people need. Another thing, a community meeting was called by the aldermans that saw something like 200 people there throughout the evening, including community members that we brought in. We held and also did outreach there as well. The community had a great response to us speaking there. We also held a demonstration at City Hall with a great response. We just heard from a comment from Lumumba. Yes. And had a great response from those who walked by the residents of St. Louis. We had attended, spoke, and done outreach at a rally held by the Solidarity Wing of our movement, the group's Solidarity Movement, with great response and support from the passerbys. In support of the Mexican liberation struggle and all colonized Palestine and of course everyone we spoke to was everyone that we spoke to was very receptive to the call for a response to the city due to a rapid response in the city and the need for community organizing, including in that community meeting that was held by the aldermans, in which the entire community said that $30 million was not enough. We need the whole thing, rightfully so. I do want you all to participate in outreach from door to door, to flyering, to phone banking. We had a great course here on Wednesday. She's in the back. Sister Emile, who had done phone banking in the back. She right on. So she called 50 folks. Wow, that's good. That's good. And we also got we heard as well that other people were doing a phone bank as well. So that was good. That was good. I do want you all to participate now. So we have, and this fight back will take the full mobilizing of our communities. We will do 2 sessions of outreach every weekday from 11:15 a.m. to 1 p.m. and from 4 p.m. to 7. On the weekends, we will have 3 outreach sessions available to you all from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. From 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. This week, we will work to finish outreach to the rest of the valley, and we do want to start doing outreach in Park Hill. I had tried to do store drops so that we can at least penetrate Park Hill. There aren't a whole bunch of stores out. So if you can offer 30 minutes of your time, an hour of your time, 2 hours of your time, join the Fightback and reach out to your community and whoever you know for community outreach. All outreach sessions, we will meet here at the Uhuru House. And if these times don't work for you, the Uhuru House is open every day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can come in on weekends. You can even get some materials today with someone back. And I will be in the back. I will be in the back after the day. Please let me know if you are available for the outreach. If you want to take on action, we can we had a great response last week. Folks, I would encourage that for you all to get out, the city is organizing this path. We have to be organized on this. Hello, comrades.
Fight back. Fight back.
Where they do? I want to appreciate our comrade and thank you for that report. This report, and there is more work done. There is more work done as we are planning, and this is part of the plan as well. To have you in attendance or to have you participate. And we really want to appreciate the comrades for making all those phone calls. I mean, it may seem like a simple thing, but it is time consuming. And sometimes we have to do the personalities on hold. So for someone to be in our movement to go from 50 phone calls off the 50, that's impressive to me. You understand? And to too fast now, that's what's going to happen. We got hundreds of thousands of contacts. Everybody can take a jump and we can touch. We talk about touch one. Okay, how you going to do that? You got to be organized. Phone bank is a way to do that. Phone bank shows how to organize with one to touch all. We can all touch by them. We touch by the group. So we want to really encourage everyone to do the mass columns that we need to be done. But you may not be able to go to school. Maybe you're on a plantation, maybe whatever. You may be outdated, but if you can pick up a phone, make a phone call, I think that's something that's just for everybody. And if you haven't done it before, remember, like you know that you can employ on projects that so we want to talk a little bit more about some outreach activities because one of the things that we say inside the movement is that we want to occupy as much the democratic spaces that are there for citizens. So we want to be at the fest. We want to be at the city hall. We want to be at a town hall. We want to be on the forefront. We want to be on the thing. And so one of the things that we have participated in was the outreach effort yesterday, which was some celebration as a celebration throughout the country. You may know about Juneteenth, not quite the Uhuru Movement, but so a comrade who has been involved in that community and give us a little bit more information updates on that. We want to comrade FoFeet for the
Well, first of all, I am so happy to be here this week. I am comrade InPDUM. Yesterday, myself, a volunteer that I had told about what I was doing yesterday at the Juneteenth celebration of Sea Lord's March. She said, well, I want to look at you. She know what I want. You know anything about the organization, but she showed up. And we had, I'll give you the picture of, but we had a table full of products. It's not like the product, right? We had 2 papers about the organization, and we had flyers of the different things that we do here. The market, the women's shelter, the women's clinic that will be real soon. We had the bakery. We just had everything out there. So when people came, they came up to our table and said, "What are you doing?" I told them, I said, this is I'm representing the people Uhuru Movement organization. And what we do is we finish the work of Marcus Garvey and the Panthers. We're gonna take it until revolution. Because not just for us, but it starts with us, because it started with us. And we got to end it. So everybody that has been suffering under that same colonial rule will be free. So people, here, sign up, get some information, make it your business to be a part of this organization. I said, you can volunteer, like my friend right here. She's getting a mouthful and a head full, and she is now going to be the volunteer. But not only herself, her partner, who he works, she said he works today or they would have come. And she got a 17-year-old son. So she said, this is something we need. I said, I'm so glad to hear you say that. So I'm looking also for her to come back. I had a total of 4 people that united to volunteer yesterday doing something, because we have something for everybody to do. I met students yesterday from WashU. I met people that were signing up, people for insurance. I met people that went or graduated from some of the high school, know each other. I heard you say something to high school. I said, yeah. So the next thing is, what year did you graduate? But it was something that connected people in the community. And I'll ask a couple of questions like, okay, what do you think about whatever's happening? Well, I think it's really bad. I think you want to do something about it. Take this information and come work with us, because we are here for the community. This is what we are. But my volunteer name was Emma Lynn, and she stayed there until 1 o'clock, from 9 o'clock down at St. Lord's till 1 o'clock. She left right before the heavy rain came, because it did rain. We had mud, it was all over the place. But she stayed there until 12 because she had something she had to do to eat. I had another volunteer that called me and said that her mom couldn't keep her son, but she will be at the next. And it was some that came here to the Uhuru house to help with the giveaway.
Right.
So when I get to see them tomorrow, I'm going to thank them and really welcome them back and to bring somebody with them. So, I want to say one thing about the community of St. Louis. Right? I went to Thursday night hearing, community meeting. And while I was there, I had to leave early. While I was there, I heard about 4 or 5 community members. Sound like they have been in this room soaking up chairman's information, because I'm gonna tell you, they know the history. And they know that the tornado was here before the tornado came. They knew that the rebuilding and the plots against the Black community was already in place. One man even talked about the Team 4. You know, so I was really delighted to see that they knew, but they didn't know where to go. It took the tornado to bring them out. Now it's up to us to bring them out and to be a part of the solution. They're meeting, but I don't know if they're shy, but I'm gonna tell you, it put a fire under me. All right, comrades, it really did. And I am so happy to say that if you have a event that I, not just me, but I personally can come to, and at the same time, you inviting the whole movement, because we're moving for the unit for the community.
Okay.
We want your voice. We want you to give out a flyer so you can tell somebody, look, we got to take care of this mess ourselves. We can't wait on Karen Kara. Okay? I'm gonna tell you, FEMA, that money is not a gift. It is a loan. Okay? Know that. FEMA money is a loan. It is not a gift. They give you a while to pay it back, like a whole year after you get your first installment. But who knows how you gonna have that first installment? Is that another way for them to take your property because you couldn't pay your FEMA loan back? You've taken the money to fix your home or to, okay, come on now. What they don't tell you is what you need to listen to. Okay? FEMA money is not free. Okay? I want to end this by saying thank you, St. Louis. You've given me hope to know that I have not been talking in all of these poetry events about what we're doing for the community, and nobody was listening. But I found that everybody was listening, and it took a tornado to take off their roof to make them realize now is the time. Yeah. If you've been waiting, now don't wait anymore. Okay? Don't wait anymore. You can't afford to wait anymore. Now is the time. Let us know if you got my personal number, because it's been the same forever. And I've been around St. Louis. People say, oh, you're a legend. Well, call this legend and let me know where I can speak, where I can give out information, where I can meet with you personally and give you a eye-opening experience that you haven't had yet if you're not with the party or with the organization. Because when you do something for your neighbor, you do something for yourself. You take care of their children when they're out of school. You take care of their parents when you're not available, because you know eventually they can depend on you and you can depend on them. Well, let us depend on each other. If you want to know what to do or how to do it for yourself or your community, we got the answer, comrades. We got the answer. And I've been in St. Louis for 50 of my 71 years. 55, 57, 50. Well, I came when I was 12, but I've always been in Missouri. And I've been here that long. And I want to see the Northside. Let's take our communities back. I want to see it better than it was when I was at Stevens School in the 7th grade. They had just built the school. It was only a year old when I started there in the 7th grade. I want to see the community better than that. Okay? Because this is where we live. This is where we educate our people, where we buy our groceries, where we see our doctors, where we get our teeth pulled at the dentist, like Dr. Coleman when I was young. Everybody was going to Dr. Coleman to get them gold teeth. Yeah. Okay? All right, comrades, I can't speak anymore. And as a poet, I haven't written any poetry about the devastation. It just, when you're not writing a poem, you're living it.
but I could not write to something that that was so devastating.
Yeah.
So guess what? Help me write this poem of victory. Tornado? No. St. Louis? Yes. Uhuru.
Uhuru, thank you, Comrade FoFeet. I appreciate that and all the work that you do in the community and has done for so long. Of course, I think that one of the things that was mentioned, and it speaks to the political education and awareness of St. Louisans for a long time. People in the city of St. Louis, especially on the north side, especially the African community, have known about Team 4 and have seen and lived this. And they've known that, as a matter of fact, it was when the Uhuru Movement came to the city of St. Louis, it was the people who had educated the Uhuru Movement about what was going on. So we reciprocated the type of thing. And so, the people know. But what the Uhuru Movement does, it comes to make it make sense in a way that it offers the solution to the question and not just say, oh, this is, willy-nilly and things of that nature. It's like the slogan for the Burning Spear newspaper, not just explaining the world, but changing the world. And that's what we've been doing. And as a matter of fact, don't forget to pick up your latest edition of the Burning Spear newspaper. We do have it in the back. The June issue is out. It is the oldest publication that comes from the African working class perspective since 1968. So make sure you get a copy of that. And also now, we do want to hear from the community. So at this time, before we bring up the next person, is anyone in the audience or community have anything that they want to share or something that's burning on your heart? You want some type of engagement? You want to say something? Because once again, we want to make sure that no one leaves before it's time, before they offer up to our suggestions. Comrade, go ahead. Sister Emil?
Sister Emil.
Okay. The phone banker?
Home baker, food maker.
Oh.
I got back from Africa a little bit over a month ago, and I got my last name to my African name. I had my first name the first time I went there. And for years I was hesitant to use that because I didn't want to dishonor my mother. The name she gave me was intentional, But anyway, I'm starting to embrace that. Yeah, my name is Emil, and I'm using Emil combined. But I wanted to just call your attention to, and I apologize for being late. I didn't start early enough, but I did some food prep, and obviously I agreed to bring the lettuce and tomato, and I did that too. But I brought y'all a special treat.
Right.
I don't get excited. Because you might not be excited when you taste it. Okay? I am into probiotic food. I am into wellness. I'm trying to build my wellness community.
Yeah.
I need a community to be successful. I've been working on this a long time, But anyway, I have some probiotic cabbage that I have made. It has ginger and garlic in it. It's red cabbage. I put it in little red cups. I hope you'll try it. But I also made some probiotic drink, which we call Rejuvelat. And this is made with quinoa. I also make it with red cabbage and green cabbage too. This is with quinoa. Now the drink smells a little funky. But just think about beer. Beer is fermented, and that's exactly what this is. Okay. When we change our microbiome in our guts, we change our microbiome in our mind. So, food is revolutionary. Food is revolutionary. Health is revolutionary.
Yes.
So, but anyway, I just want to encourage you that I think you're big now. So when you make your faces, it's different. Yeah, it is. That's why, and it's a struggle because every day I still struggle on that path. You see what I'm saying? Now I've cured myself pretty much of diabetes.
All
I
right.
took my number from 130 in 4 days. Now, I'm a nurse, so I cheated a little bit, okay? I'm gonna tell you what I did. But I knew what to do. But the main thing is I maintained it. I was on insulin 2 years ago. And I'm on diet back.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
That's right. Great.
So the next thing I'm working on, and I do it, I'm up and down with this blood pressure, but I want to spread that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I have worked with a young man who had no insurance, had black tone, had blood sugar 600. He now has an 8 blood sugar. His toe was be able to say, his foot was be able to be saved, his leg was be able to be saved.
All right.
And he's living better.
Yes.
And everything, you know. So, anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Made a cabbage.
Oh, you took it away from Sharp.
I'll be sure to bring it back. Uhuru comrades, my name is Jainabah Lumumba. I'm the Southern Regional Representative for the African People's Socialist Party. Majority of my base is in Florida, Alabama, the Carolinas, Georgia. And it's my first time here in St. Louis. And, you know, thank you, yeah, and I just have to say, you know, first I have to salute Chairman Ona Zane Yeshitela, you know, Chairman of the African Nation. And I also want to salute DC Ona. And I'm not being biased because Chairman's my grandfather, DC's my grandmother. You know, but the beauty, right, that you see, the South Side could come and, you know, when they try to beautify or gentrify our communities, and it just be dull, look like a hospital.
Yeah.
You know, they got all these muted colors and before the HGTV trends of black everywhere, you know, DC Ona Zane said, we're gonna paint it black.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember there might have been some resistance, like, black, you know, you're gonna paint it black, you know, and now everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
And that really speaks to the question that African people, the African working class must lead, and also African women must lead. When you look
Yes.
at Black revolutionary organizations, you do not see African women in true positions of power. I've seen, you know, the question of African men and African women and the back and forth that we've seen, but then you turn your head away from all the nonsense from the colonial and neo-colonial and the bourgeoisie and the petty bourgeoisie ideas of companionship and love, and then you look at DC and Chairman Yeshitela and how they conduct themselves, right? And even in times where, you know, I see a lot of, you know, complaints of one partner is not doing enough. And sometimes I'll see Chairman and Ona and I'll think, man, Chairman isn't even bothered by the fact that Ona is tending to the every need of him, because he knows she's tending to the needs of the people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it informs your understanding of love, right? It's not a selfish, possessive, parasitic version of love. And you might have experienced this growing up and you know, if you love someone, you gotta be attached to them, and then you start to say, man, this relationship is a lot, I can't keep up with it, it's beat me down. Why is it such a parasitic relationship that I have to maintain? Why is it, you know, rooted in possessivity and control or power struggles and all these things? And you look at DC Ona and you look at Chairman Ona Zane Yeshitela and they're giggling amongst all the building that they're doing because they're busy building. And then you see what needs to be happening within our communities to repair not just buildings, but the relationships that exist between us. Not just intimate relationships on a sexual level between people who love each other in that way and want to express it, but I'm talking about how can you express the love that you have for the people in a physical manifestation, because intimate relationships are not always sexually intimate, and we have to reteach that. Under colonialism, you might find that, you know, especially as a young African woman growing up, right? What does intimacy mean? How do we relate to each other? You're flooded with all of these ideas, and then, you know, growing up in the Uhuru Movement, I was an Uhuru baby. And I grew up and, you know, you're surrounded by, it's almost like a a post-revolutionary bubble that I grew up in, surrounded by the hopes of real freedom, practicing a new way of living, so that when I grew up and when I moved to Florida from Oakland, and I'm exposed to all these colonial things, bombardment of colonial ideas, I said, well, what do you mean I need to perm my hair? My hair is beautiful. Well, what do you mean, English, what do you mean my last name, even down to the food? It's a colonial diet a lot of Africans are growing up on. And I also work in healthcare. I'm a cell biologist, the food and the cells and organization, all these things come together. I don't want to hold up too much time. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to see all of the incredible work, the West Florissant corridor. It's just, this is the type of work that you don't need to change everybody's mind. And I know a lot of times you get the podcast and the microphone, you want to talk, you want to change someone's mind. You gotta believe this right now. But when you change their lives, when the kids are playing on that basketball court, when they talking smack about the Northside and they saying all those things, we can be able to say, we did this. We ain't need no help. When they claim they want to rebuild in City Hall, reparations, but we got this.
Yeah.
Already got it. It's already done. Even in the paper, I got the burning spear. You can see the West Florissant corridor, maps, dots on the maps, taking it over. That makes me excited to be here. And so I also want to say, Comrade Chief Kenya, who's here, she also had her diabetes diagnosis overturned through a revolutionary diet. And so I just want to say that's what you got.
Thank you very much.
Founded in a colonial environment. So I just want to salute you.
Look, you can't give revolutionaries the mic, boy. They go to town. Look, wait a minute, Conrad. I'm sorry, my sister. I committed somewhat of an error, so I'm gonna make a self-criticism. I wasn't trying to open it up for so much discussion at this time because we're gonna have a little bit later. So I do want to give it. I'm gonna ask you to please hold your comment, please, and then I'm gonna bring up our comrade Westbrook. So the criticism is on me for being a little bit off on that script. So Comrade Westbrook, you come up here and give us some final words, I guess, on the work that's been done. Uhuru, once again, he is the president of the local International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement. Chair.
Uhuru, y'all. And we still continue on with this fight back. Before I go forward, number one, I want to appreciate the discussion so far. The discussion will continue forward in just a second. So don't be scared to bless the mic, Uhuru. And I also want to salute my leadership, our leadership, Chairman Ona Zane Yeshitela and DC Ona Zane Yeshitela, Dr. Odom, our rep, Kumbula, and everyone that's in this room. I want to welcome you and appreciate. We got Jesse Todd in the room, Alderman, the People's Alderman. We got our Northern rep in the room. I want to appreciate our Northern rep. Let's give it up for our Northern rep. We also have our Southern rep in the room that just blessed us, Mike Uhuru. We got the Chair Jesse also among us. And a beautiful guest, new face, old face. I appreciate y'all showing up. Uhuru. But and I think it was repetitive today that this government simply dropped the ball. Yeah. But unfortunately, this ball has been dropped for generations. It was spoke about Team 4 plan, the benign neglect. There was nothing benign about it. But the lack of leadership that sometimes I formulate it as, but we know it has been a fight. It has been a military stance that this city, the local and state government been putting upon us. And when I say fight that happened for many generations, I mean, once again, I could still speak about the Ken Locks wipe off the map. I could speak about the Mills Creek wipe off the map. Briefly, I know we discussed about the open air and plutonium injections with the citizens of St. Louis, the Piragos and et cetera, you know what I'm talking about? But we know that in the lack of finance that's been coming, or the restriction of finances to the north side, we say all that is a fight. All that is a fight. All that's part of the same tool, you know, that was led up to the May 16th. And so since we say that this city government is steady taking their gloves off and trying to fight us, then we must take our gloves off and fight back, right? Fist up! Fist up! Uhuru. I know back in 17, one thing that happened here, it helped inspire Marcus Garvey, who we have up on the wall, which was the East St. Louis riots. You know, where we speak about the fight against the state and the people and the lack of injustice or the lack of response from the state. Because we know the police the police or the state did not help or stop the inhumane things that were happening to the citizens of East St. Louis. We also know they was complicit with it when they shot off the Edge Bridge to allow the citizens to come over here to seek refuge. You know, one of the people that was seeking refuge, Josephine Baker, you know, she was from the east side during those riots, and she fled up out of the east side. And we know Josephine Baker's because of that she left there, came here, left here, went to New York, left New York, went to France. But that being said, the fight, that's 1917, the fight been going on for many, many, many decades. 1917, we had Marcus Garvey gave us this flag. But not only thing he gave us, he also gave us the red, black, and green flag. But he also gave us hope within ourselves. And I want to just quote one of the things that he said that I want to say now. Up, you mighty race. Uhuru. Now I want to say it like I want to say it, so I'm gonna back up off the mic. But after I say it, I want you to say it after me. Uhuru. Uhuru. Don't forget, we are the same people who built the pyramids. Uhuru. That started off mathematics and science and all these great things that's handed down today. My race. No more can we be asleep while they continue on their status quo. This colonialist exploitation cannot continue no more. That's why we having a fight back. Fist up! Fist up! Today, you witnessed some of our comrades spoke about how we covering our territories, taking our territories. If you want to fight, we here to give it to you. We are an organization of organizers. Bro, with the NASA, I remember you, bro. This is your organization. Before you leave, sign up. Hey, bro, this is your organization. Your family got greatness within its name, and you're gonna speak about it. I'm not asking, but you're gonna speak about it. Your family got greatness. But you, as an organizer by yourself, your voice is nothing. Great, your name is because of who your ancestors is. Your voice by itself is nothing. It's the people organization. We need organizers. When you back, your little voice, my little voice, when it is backed by an organization, that's when you disturb the peace. And I ain't talking about ludicrous. Uhuru. We speaking of today, we had our comrades come before us and they spoke about the fight that we take into the city because no more is allowed status quo to beat to continue. Because that means we complacent in our destruction. This is an organization for you. No more shall we pass our buildings. For the folks that's watching it, no more shall you pass. But in yet have the sense to complain about what City Hall is doing. This is your house. A quarter mean welcome. This is the quarter. You are surely welcome to your house. We each other with peace. Come on, which one of us has seen peace since we've been born? Yet to see peace. So I want to you and say peace. No, we greet each other with Uhuru. Because until we win our freedom, it should stay on our minds, it should stay on our lips. We should greet each other to remind you what is our job. And this is our job to win liberation in our lifetime. So our kids will not suffer the same consequences. That's why I love the chairman. For 1968, had an inclination to put this oldest consistent revolutionary paper out. But the chairman said that wasn't good enough. In 1972, he started the African People's Socialist Party. But the chairman said it wasn't good enough. In 76, solidarity, he created the Solidarity Movement because he said he have to put white people behind enemy lines and to destroy damn peace. What are you talking about? To overturn contradiction. And what else? Reparation back to the black community. What is reparation? Black economics? Black economics. But he said in 1976 that wasn't good enough to start a white solidarity movement that's behind enemy lines. Because sometimes we know they faces can get in places that our faces can't. But in 1976, he said that's not enough. In 1991, he decided to create FEMA, which was a national mass movement. But it grew. Now it's InPDUM with the president, Dr. Ona. But it's global. We got branches all over the globe, global organizers. So once again, go your voice by itself is nothing. But if you connect yourself to an organization that got reach across the globe, how powerful is your one voice then? This is your organization. Prophet says and leave alone. Back to the fight back. Since they want to fight us for generations after generations after generations, you know what? We decided to fight back too. The first time, not the first time, but we spoke about some of the demonstrations and pickets we did at City Hall. You know, a couple of weeks ago, once again, for us, the power of collectedness, the power of organization. We went down and did a demonstration. I think we showed some of the footage last week. We was out there, guess what, immediately. It's Corey Spencer, she spoke about this. She was in a meeting, an emergency meeting with Amber. When she heard us on making noises, she canceled that meeting and came to us immediately. And we questioned her. We didn't let her say her talking bites. We gave her demands. You understand me? That's the power of organization. We did another event, protest Friday that our comrade put together. Uhuru, our host, Akumba, and it was excellent. But you have folks that's solidarity, raising flags, solidarity, contact, solidarity. That's holding. I agree with you saying, can I just hold a poster? We reached it once again back in 1991. Chairman had an inclination to start a mass organization to bring African people back to political life, and that's what we've been doing. Because that woman, after she heard of political education within a demonstration, guess what? She showed up yesterday. What was we doing yesterday? Thank you that you asked. I don't mind telling. Yesterday we was doing giveaways. Yesterday we was covering all types of territories. Yesterday, number one, we've been out here. Chairman had an inclination. The tornado hit 16th. The chairman called a mercy meeting on the 17th. You know what I'm talking about? And we've been out here on the ground since then. And we ain't done yet. Until it's won. And we ain't talking about bringing the contradiction back to what it was. No. That's why we say fight back.
when you say $30 million, it's clearly not enough. Especially when you got a $42 million surplus. So once again, after the demonstration, we taking all the territories. We even the territories our Conrad was speaking about at the Alderman meeting last Tuesday. They had an audacity to tell us about some $30 million, but under the small print. Now listen, they have a $42 million surplus, but out of this $30 million that they trying to give us and say that's good enough, they take a 5% of that. 5% of that going back to administration costs and stuff like that. I ain't gonna pay you for it. Yeah, they're not got me. But make a long story short, you got the $30 million still getting robbed and raped and molested. That still ain't coming all the way to us. So y'all got $42 million surplus, and y'all still dipping your hand in a pot that's not even big enough to cover all the needs of the people. Then at that same meeting, they had the audacity to show you a list of priorities with it, where that money gonna go. Now, they tell you the mayor got the creative right that's gonna in the mayor office only is gonna distribute the funds, and then when they come up with that process, that means they ain't transparent. They behind closed door. They said when they come up with that process, say not you or I. When they come up with the process on how they gonna distribute the funds, then they let you know. But okay, how about this? They give you a list of things that you must have to qualify for this $30 million, less than $30 million. But a lot of folks don't have the documentations because it's messed up in the house. They can't go back in. They get forced out. Not only that, a lot of folks don't have this documentation, the deadline for you to fill this stuff out is in August, a couple months from now. Some folks that don't have transportation, they gonna need at least a month or so to take care of any type of business. Now, this is the type of the type of government that we forced to fight against. When they telling you they're not gonna give you the money despite they have it, then they give you a list that says the Citrus in is number now not quote me on it's Citrus if I'm not believe it's number 2. No, it's number 3. Forest Park is number 2. Skinker and Developer is number 4. But do you get the parent? You know where these areas at? Okay, hold on. 70% of these people that had devastation, 5,000 devastation home or destroyed home, 70% of those folks didn't have no type of insurance. So the rest was that 30% of the folks that might have insurance, 25% of that money going back to the state. Okay. Now, this 70% of folks or this 30% of folks I just spoke about, don't you know they at the bottom of the list to receive this money? But the people that have insurance, hell, let's just say they didn't have insurance, the economic bracket that they in, they have the money they have the money in their own bank account to fix the problems themselves. Now, why am I mentioning that? I'm not saying forget this body or group. I'm not saying it, but hell, if they saying it towards us, I guess it would only be fair for me to say it towards them, right? If the state saying forget O'Fallon and forget College Hill, because O'Fallon and College Hill is number 24 and 25, 26. They gave 26 different areas on where this money gonna be allocated. O'Fallon, your town, that's why you gotta make noise. O'Fallon and College Hill was the last 2 on the list. But Skinker and Developer, Citrus in, Forest Point, they on the top of the list. So you not giving us enough. And the folks that got money, they get priority to it. So how much are you actually willing to give us? This all go back to the foresight. That's why College Hill and O'Fallon Point, O'Fallon area is at the bottom of the list. Because they ain't tripping off giving you money to rebuild. Because they trying to force you out. I would say this, leave it alone. You had somebody yesterday, we was covering our territories once again. We was InPDUM was in a march, a June 16 march yesterday. Make a long story short, you had an individual state representative. She spoke up and she was proud that she helped voted on this $30 million, this, that, and another. But one thing she indicate, which is true, it sounds good, but the money it have not. Some folks have been happy about a budget that have not been voted on. It be voted on the 17th. So this $30 million might not even come to us. Number one. But number two, she also indicated, thank you. She also indicated that the state not only, and I'm trying to be careful because they lie, we don't. So, but they lie, we don't. So they did so much umped up stuff. We don't need a lot about it. We just tell the truth. But make a long story short, she was so happy and she was saying something about this $30 million. But what she also, to my understanding, was saying that they trying to appease a couple things. They trying to appease this alderman, this mayor. You know what I'm talking about? So they know this alderman got first of all, before I say that, this mayor is a former alderman of the south of downtown. So you already know that. That's her constituents, you know. Make a long story short, she was speaking about how the only reason why it's not no more than 30 million, because it's a possibility they might get vetoed. That they was trying to do a fine line because no, exactly, whatever. But for the second. So she claimed they did it. They didn't want to get vetoed, and this just a starting point. This, that, another. But make a long story short, y'all refuse to give the people money because y'all afraid that this woman gonna veto it. But two things: let her veto it. Let her show the people where she stands. Let her veto it, so the people could vote their ass out there. You know, they voted to throw her out for less crimes than this person did. $1.6 billion damage, 5,000 homes destroyed or damaged, 7 deaths. They voted to throw her out for lesser things than this. So make a long story short, I got 3 more minutes. Okay. So make a long story short, if they voted to throw her out for lesser than this, surely if the people, and I don't want to say scared because we ain't scared, but if the people scared to vote her out because they saying give her a chance, well, hell, give her a recall. We say her ass should be locked up and recall. But what I'm saying is, okay, give her a chance to tell her motherfucking self. I'm sorry, give her a chance. Put the vote out there. We down there got $1 billion. Put the vote out there. Don't be scared that y'all taking the realm settlement from. She got $60 million, $70 million allocated to downtown. And y'all scared that take money from that because she might veto it. Take money from that and let the people see what type of person it is, and that might inspire them to get it out. But what I'm saying is the fight is not over, y'all. We've been up here saying that the state, and y'all, we don't have to say it. Y'all know, y'all grew up here. The state been fighting for many years. InPDUM, guess what? We've been fighting back. We is the vanguard. We lead the battle. But we know we can't lead the battle by ourselves. Uhuru, that's why we need you. That's why we need not only you, we need your volunteer, your meaning. Some folks say we need you, mean come show up and just be here, which that is good too. Show up and be here. But no, we need all of you. Your knowledge, if you, come on. If you got skills, come on. You know what I'm talking about? Because it took us to get us up out of this. Like Chairman said, they told us not to self-deploy. If we want to self-deploy, we would still be digging ourselves up out of this mess. But we need all of us to love on us, take care of us, and overturn this colonial contradiction. You know what I'm talking about? So I ended by saying, this is your house. We still got a few fights coming up. We still got some picketing to do at City Hall. We still gonna raise hell to let them know that we not left behind. But this is where y'all come involved. This is y'all come involved. This is your house. One voice by itself don't mean nothing, but when you get connected with organizational work, that's when your one voice can be powerful. Uhuru. Uhuru.
Fifth up. Fifth up. All right, comrades, I know we got some questions that's going to be coming out. People are popping up with questions and got some things, but we want to go ahead and move a little bit more with this program kind of quickly so that we can get some of the discussion and answers and also get people to sign up. Make sure you sign up back there on that table. If you didn't, talk to one of the organizers here. We'll get you good and ready. One quick note. Yesterday, I think we collected more than 100 contacts. And that's a combination from being here and on the south side. So and that was with the forces with the Juneteenth. So Comrade FoFeet is going to come up and give us a call for membership and resources. Uhuru.
That's my favorite thing to say.
It used to be touch one.
Well, both of them.
Okay, man.
All right, comrades. You know, everything is economics. Where you place your money is where the politics that you believe in or live by.
Okay, then.
Or where you've been forced to support.
Yeah.
Okay, when I say forced, like if there's no place in the area for you to shop, you have to go somewhere else to shop because you gotta eat. Now, good, we'll soon have the Uhuru Bakery. I just gotta say that. Anyway, yeah, we won that fight. Now, if you want to be a fist in the fight, not a finger, or you want to be a finger to help make a fist, be a part of InPDUM organization. Membership. And the membership is at your level. I started out backwards. Let me start with our goal first of all, and then I get to the other goal. Our goal today is $100. All right?
All right.
$100 to do so, you can do cash. You can do Cash App if you want to do it that way. You can do InPDUM.org/donate if you want to just go on the website and use your credit card. Like I say, you can $100. You want to know where they go to? You see all of the information that we've been giving out to let people know where we are, who we are, and how we do what we do. Is all for the community. Every nickel, dime, and quarter is placed on revolution. And every time I put $1 in, that's $1 So $100, we appreciate you. And now I'll come back and say exactly how much of a goal we met. If you go on InPDUM.org or Cash App, please let us know how much you've done so we can add that into the total. And I've done 15 on Cash App.
Okay.
So now this is the nitty-gritty. This is why we have these meetings. This is why we want to invite the community in so they can have a voice in their own recovery. You know, I've in my years, I've learned that for every question, if you wait 2 seconds, you'll get the answer because they stand right next to each other. Okay? The answer to colonialism is the revolution. It's the idea of making a change. You can't turn something that's against you for you. This system was built to keep us down. Yeah. I'm 4'11". I can't get no shorter. Okay. I can't get no shorter, so I can't afford to get get. I gotta get revolution off my. Colonialism off my back and out of my face and everywhere. And I've been a colonial subject since my birth. And my parents before that, and my grandparents before that. I just buried my mother in January. She was a colonial subject too. But you know what? She made it through to 91, almost 92. Now, I plan to fight and have my footprint of one of my 4 feet all over the place.
Yes.
When it comes to revolution, I want my name up there. You know, FoFeet said a lot of things, but the best thing she ever said was that Black people, African people will get revolution and freedom, because I have children, I have grandchildren, I don't have any grace yet, and I'm not looking to get that far ahead. But in the meantime, the fight I got in me is for the release of the colonial system to our people. To our people. Like I said before, it started with us, it'll end with us.
Okay.
Liberation. Now, I just put $15 in for my liberation. How much you got for yours? And on home, you people that are watching us, go to the Cash App, go to the donation, InPDUM.org, donate, and put in your revolution. Come on, for the simple reason, every dollar you spend is a dollar closer to your revolution. And with that, I'm gonna call Comrade Kumba back up here.
Oh, thank you, Conrad. Thank you, Conrad, FoFeet, for that. Now, we're going to have a little community discussion. And I know there's some questions burning inside of us. And so right now, this is another opportunity for you to participate. And we are monitoring you online as well. So whatever questions that you might have or comments that we can read, we see them in the comment, and if provided we have time, we will get to them. But right now we have a question starting with our comrade to the left of you.
Lower that.
Yeah, sure, people of America.
Oh, my bad.
I'm very bad. I'll play that girl too.
Well, my question actually is kind of for you.
Is it coming from?
Brad Westbrook. I want to follow up on the young woman who was here, and I believe she's a neighbor of yours, you know, that talked about getting the youth involved. I am more than happy to facilitate mentoring and including the youth. I've done a lot of summer camps. Oh my God, they thought I was a member of every single program that my daughter was in. So a permanent member, and all I was a supporter. But whatever it takes to get them in this building and all these projects like organizing the truck, doing the whatever, you know, that is something I'm very interested in seeing manifest, because the youth are everything. You know what I'm saying? Our time here is we're on the other side of it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm interested, and that's you know, it's as important as the wellness venture that I'm going to do. You know, but so hook me up.
I'll be very quick. Actually, be as the local branch one unit about to create a few different children programs. Over the last couple of weeks, last week in general. Yeah, we have been busy, and not only busy, but making connections. Because I have a couple of guys that united with doing book bag drives and doing free haircuts for people. So now we can say, anybody you know, we're gonna have announcements to speak about what I'm saying. But since you spoke moving, so yeah, we're gonna have more programs dedicated and period around the youth. Number one, but number two, yes, I will put you in connection with young lady. So we all sit down on how to raise your age. So especially the other age for kids. But what I'm hearing that you want to join the PDUM, because you don't like part of the PDUM. What is
I got my money today. Get my
Okay, you know what you said? Look, she called you out, didn't she? They don't play with me. I got my money, players. Come on.
Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Hello.
Sure. Brother Westbrook has been kind of quiet about his involvement. Now, I participated in Juneteenth for about 40 years. And ever since I've been here in St. Louis, I've participated in the oldest organization who celebrated Juneteenth here, Savalier. Now, observing Savalier, it's interesting that this year, was probably the most inclusive in organizations. You had Benefit Life join Sabaye, you had Urban League join Sabaye, you had the Moorish Science Temple join Sabaye.
What?
UAPO led a parade to the celebration. And would you know that at the head of that parade was Brother Zaki Baludi, who was Brother Westbrook. And that's significant. Some wonderful comments on stage, inviting people, of course, to join the struggle. And I had an opportunity there to share with people some of our efforts here at Uhuru. I think I'm gonna pick up a couple of folks that'll join us in the future, but I learned from Sister FoFeet there some clarity in terms of how to make my presentation, like how to wait for the next event, which will hopefully be coming up on the at the Riot Juneteenth celebration. And I'm certainly gonna take some of the things I learned from you and try to apply them there, so I get a much more focused presentation and invitation to folks to join us here. But one of the things that struck me, and I think I have to attribute this to Brother Lonnie, is that we have a fight song. And in that fight song, we call on the names of Nkrumah and Marcus Garvey, and we talk about the struggle and resistance. But the refrain that we have is "We are winning."
Yes.
We need to share a little bit more about those victories, because we're not just a struggling group.
Yes.
And when we look at Africa there, Burkina Faso is doing some fabulous things in terms of both resistance but building. And we need to share some of that. I wanted to share one thing that I picked up, and that was the electric car that they have built there, and with the resources right there in Burkina Faso, with that's challenging everything that the colonialists have been putting forth. Better miles, better structure, including the residents of Burkina Faso. So they're winning there, and we're winning here. And I go down the street here, the foundation is laid for our bakery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that's not insignificant, because y'all put up a tremendous battle against overwhelming odds to be able to get that, and we're seeing it come to life.
There's always this expression, victory is certain. We have a couple of forces I know that are relatively new to the participation, and I know that they should have something to say, or maybe you wanted to say something. Not that I want to call anybody out, but if I'm touching on your shoulder, you know, make a question, make some noise, let it be heard what you're talking about, who you are. Okay. Uhuru.
I'm not new, but
Well,
I really wanted to, just wanted to welcome my comrades, chief of staff for the National Director of Organization Office, the Kenyan, welcome the Southern Region Rep, Comrade Jainabah. I'm just glad that you're able to see, you know, the work that we've done together. Able to see the vision of the chairman, you know, coming to life, and also the resilience of the Africans here, as he's talked about often. We still have a lot of work to do, and I know that St. Louis is better already because we are here. And will be even much better as a result of us being able to get out in the community more, not just as a result of the tornado, but just providing the real sense of hope and future for Africans on the north side. I also wanted to salute Sister Emile for helping out with the phone banking. I want to salute Brother Devontae, who came out on Saturday with the giveaway. Brother Devontae, we did a fantastic job, and I was really just moved by his enthusiasm. Because everybody can do something. I think I said this a week before, last week, said this last week. And we're just providing that opportunity for us, for Africans, to be able to give back, to their own community. So, Brother Jesse Todd, we're gonna make this Todd plan. Well, yeah. We're gonna make it right. They can't act like they just heard it for the first time.
40 years.
You know what I'm saying? When they know everything that exists. So I really, again, I want to appreciate all the volunteers, everyone that came out, everyone that donated, everyone that worked in the garden. If you notice, we got fresh greens and we have tomatoes soon. We got cucumbers. So I'm encouraging even those that are online, if you're outside of St. Louis, get to St. Louis, be part of the, I don't want to say rebuilding effort, but the building effort to make the Northside what it's supposed to be, and the money. You cannot forget that the city, the Sheriff Spencer said it, the city is flush. She said it's flush. So $30 million. I mean, what is that? And I really want to remind people, and hopefully, Maureen, I don't know if she's on, can help me with this, but I'm gonna have someone look up. We want to find out if the people have the opportunity to participate in this special meeting that they're supposed to be having on Tuesday, where they're supposed to go back to the drawing board again, I guess, and vote. I heard what you said about they might veto it. Well, whatever. Put in the acts. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
And I like something that Zaki Baruti said at that town hall meeting, because I was at that town hall meeting. He said he was looking for somebody to step up, to break the mold, be the one to go against the grain, to break the status quo on that alderman.
Yeah,
And I saw a lot of aldermen sitting there shaking their head. Yeah, this sounds good, agreeing and uniting with the people. And I know that it's gonna take the people to change the minds. Because the hearts are not gonna change, okay? But we can definitely change the minds. So I'm gonna be working with the Black Power Blueprint, and I really want to salute the Black Power Blueprint. What the Black Power Blueprint was able to do this week was to get out a 1, 2, 3, 4, a step by step for those that were yellow tag and red tag that still had their power off. So go to the blackpowerblueprint.org. It's on there, and if not, come stop by the Uhuru House, give us a call, say, hey, I'm still having problems. Because I went through the process, because they don't tell you anything. It's something you have to find out, for yourself. So I'm glad I was able to lend to that process. But I think one of the things I'm hoping that we can do is find out if that alderman's meeting is open when they do this vote on Tuesday. Because if they don't listen to the people, that's all I'd say.
What you say? Conrad FoFeet. Oh, I know you're doing. I was going to see if you can give us a final.
207.
You doing that? Go ahead and stay there and do that. I'll tell what it is. Okay, our final tally of funds raised is $207. So give it up. I want to thank everybody for that. That's what you're talking about, folks. FoFeet made you fight for your liberation today, didn't she? He put it to you. If you weren't gonna do it, then all bit of her FoFeet was gonna be up your ass. So Uhuru, comrades, we want to thank you. Once again, we know that the rallies that we moving forward after this horrific event compounded by Team 4 and all that put us in a different kind of mode of operation with these events and rallies. So we always want to make sure that the masses of people that are here are engaged and become very active and engaged and get to immediate work like the sister I think I saw her maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, got onto the phone bank and volunteered. And now she's going to become a member of the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement today. So victory is certain, staying consistent, Black Power. So if you want to be able to help build the Black Power, there are several ways. We already talked about the phone banking. You can help with audio visual. You can help with the karamu, which is an African word that basically means feast. We do have a coordinator for that. You can check with someone in the back if you're here, and if not, you can always come back to us online and we'll connect you with someone who can help collect your information and name, and you can help build the Sunday rally that way. Security, there are so many ways that you can help build us. So remember, we are located here, 4101 West Florissant, on the corner of West Florissant and Alice. Our Sunday rallies are 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays. Be here or be square, don't be there. Uhuru, thank you. That's you.
People, talk to the people.